Well, hello there and good day. Thank you so much for joining me at Dystopian Report, the place where we talk about the nightmare world we found ourselves living in. I'm your host, Jesse Pullman, and today is Wednesday, September 10th, 2025, at about 5:30 p.m. EDT. Today we're doing a general report and update on some news items from the day. Please be advised that we're in an active, rapidly evolving news scenario involving significant violence both between nations and individuals, and I'm not even sure how to talk about all of these myself. We're covering three main stories, all of which have breaking news components, so if any of them stick out to you, please research them further independently. As always, independent research is helpful to verify one's findings. It's also one day before the 24th anniversary of the September 11th attacks 2001, and we're also covering an article about possible alien biosignatures to wrap this episode up with something a little nicer than dystopian news. With that said, let's go to the web browser. So, first up, NATO allies held Article 4 consultations after Russian drone incursion. Left out of the headline is Poland. This is an incursion in Poland. Here's what that means. So the article is by the Associated Press. It was updated today at 9 a.m. NATO allies swiftly held talks Wednesday on the incursion by multiple Russian drones into Polish and Alliance airspace and the shooting down of some of the weapons by Polish and Dutch fighter jets. The consultations at NATO headquarters were part of a regular meeting of the ambassadors from the Alliance's 32 member states known as the North Atlantic Treaty Council. North Atlantic Council, my bad. It's the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO. But Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk told Parliament that they came under Article 4 of the treaty that founded NATO in 1949 in the aftermath of World War II. So, real quick, I want to clarify something. This is Article 4 meeting. This is not Article 5 activation. Article 5 has only been activated once, and that was after the September 11th attacks. Article 4 has been invoked. I think this is the 8th time that a meeting has been called. And it is a meeting. It's a meeting that could lead to action. I think, personally, should lead to action. What that action is, it should be defense of everything to the east of Poland in order for Poland to be safe. And if that includes part of Ukraine, good. Good. Because Russia's not going to stop at Ukraine. It's that simple. They're testing us. And they blew up a U.S. factory in Ukraine, and the U.S. didn't do anything about it. They've bombed EU facilities and UK facilities, and nothing's been done about it. So, there's been terrorist attacks throughout the EU, throughout NATO countries, and nothing's been done about it. So, now they're testing military strikes on Polish territory. And now they're going to say that it was part of an attack on Ukraine, and it wasn't an attack on Poland. But, I mean, to go back to the image here, this is a Russian drone in Poland. I don't know what more there is to say about that. So that's one article out of the way. Next up, Israel's Qatar strike that Hamas says leaders survived. So Israel's allies... I read that wrong. I'm sorry. I'm not restarting this video. This is my third time attempting to record this. So what happened is Israel faced an intense new wave of global outrage Wednesday after its attack in Qatar, targeting Hamas leaders as they gather to discuss the U.S. proposal for a ceasefire in the Gaza Strip. Israel bombed the capital of Qatar. Let me zoom out for a minute here, or zoom in, or whatever. Israel bombed Qatar's capital. It's like the third country they bombed in like a day. And Qatar's rightly angry about this because they called a bunch of Hamas diplomats there to discuss the ceasefire proposal, and then Israel bombed the ceasefire negotiators. I wonder if they're trying to prolong the war. War? Maybe that's not the right word for it. Maybe the right word for it starts with a G. I just don't want to say it because, I'm probably going to get demonetized. Well, not demonetized, but de-algorithmed anyway. So, genocide, that's the word. Yeah. They're just prolonging this. And the U.S. needs to stop backing them, but Trump is good buddies with Netanyahu, so that's probably not going to happen. And I don't know why Israel hasn't kicked Netanyahu to the curb yet. I know that Israelis protest significantly against their government. There's a lot of Israelis out there protesting, and power to them. But this is just not going to help. Now, Donald Trump has said, in some very rare public criticism, that he was very unhappy about the attack, which killed at least 6 people. But is he really? Speaking about attacks. Oh yeah, this article is by Kerr Simmons, Richard Engel, Gabe Joslau, Charlene Gubash, and Chantal De Silva. I don't know why you need 5 reporters to report this, but NBC News does detailed work, I guess. Speaking of attacks, this is the one that's really hard for me to talk about. Live updates. Trump says conservative activist Charlie Kirk is dead. Kirk was shot at Utah Valley University. They're not sure if they have somebody in custody yet or not. I've read reports that they do. I've read reports that they don't. Charlie Kirk is a notoriously famous conservative activist. And we here at Dystopian Report do not support political violence. It's something this country was founded on, yes. I mean, the American Revolution was violent. And it's something that is through our history, but we try to move past that. So while there's a historical framework for political violence in America, we here do not support that. However, I will also let Charlie Kirk speak for himself, because unlike most shooting victims, we actually have some words from Charlie Kirk on how he feels about shootings. This is a post from Oliver Willis. He's a reporter for, who's that again? Daily Kos, previously Media Matters. He has a quote from Charlie Kirk. Quote, "I think it is worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year, so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights," unquote. Charlie Kirk, 2023. So, we know what Charlie Kirk thought of political violence. He thought it was acceptable. And unlike most shootings, for once, the person who died is somebody who we have a knowledge base of. And we know that they supported that political violence. So Charlie Kirk, it would appear, is okay with the shooting of Charlie Kirk, provided it protects the Second Amendment. So, I don't know how to feel about that. I honestly don't. And if you do, please leave a comment, because I don't understand. I don't understand any of this. I don't know why we need such a violent society. It might make sense to take some of these guns away, but we have to have the Second Amendment, according to some. So, some people have to die, according to some. In this case, one of those people just did. Palate cleanser story. NASA says Mars rover discovered potential biosignature last year. Sample collected by NASA's Perseverance Mars rover from an ancient dry riverbed in Jezero crater could preserve evidence of ancient microbial life. Taken from a rock named Chayava Falls last year, the sample, called Sapphire Canyon, contains potential biosignatures, according to a paper published Wednesday in the journal Nature. So, what that means is that the Perseverance rover is out there prying on rocks, going through them, digging them up, looking at them, and it looked at this one rock and it said, hey, there might be some signs of alien life here. There are all sorts of theories as to how Martian life might exist or might not exist or might have existed at one point. I personally think that life is prevalent throughout the stars. Even if there's not necessarily life in our galaxy, there's certainly a life elsewhere in the universe. And I'm hoping they come by soon and really show us a better way to do things, because we're kind of fucking it up here on Earth, if you know what I mean. Anyway, I want to thank you all so much for joining me. I won't say that if you found this video enjoyable, please subscribe. But if you found this video helpful in some way, cathartic in some way, useful, informative, do subscribe to the channel. We're trying to hit 100 subscribers by the end of the year. If we do that, I will do a review of Terminator 0. I'll probably do one anyway, because there's a new season coming out, I think. And I enjoyed Terminator 0 the first time through, and I would watch it again. I'm watching Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood right now. It's pretty dark, too, to be honest, but I don't know if it's dystopian yet. But I want to thank you all so much for joining. Please do subscribe, like, comment, share, all of those things. Thank you all so much for joining me, and as always on this channel, pieces.